Hello, this is FG back with you for Anbennar. Today we are again playing on the Bitbucket build. Uh, Today we're going to be trying something a little bit somewhat familiar, somewhat not familiar. Playing in the Ruined Sea actually is pirates, but not those pirates, other pirates, because there is now a whole bunch of pirate nations. There is, in fact, 4 different nations you can play as in the Ruined Sea, which are pirates that all share a common mission tree, apart from specific flavor missions that are actually rather powerful. Calling them flavors do them a little bit of a disservice, but alright. We are going to read out the events for Lamentaire. The skies of the ruined seas have been darkened recently. The seas, born as they were out of a calamity that changed the world forever, have long proven dangerous and mysterious. Another oddity of foul horror upon its waters would not prove surprising if not for the nature and particularly despicable form. From Canor has sailed a man whose zealotry and fanaticism has shocked even the most devout of even his particular heresy, Tristan of the Shell Shallows, a worshipper of the primordial god of the sea, Ulios. Tristan was persecuted and chased away from his home of Ulier by concerned and horrified clergy, disappearing with several stolen ships and vanishing westwards. For years, this was believed to be the end of their threat until he and his fleet of cultists were seen again, sailing towards an uninhabited island. Well, it's not really uninhabited, but summary reports have returned to us of mysterious and bizarre activity on the island which they have taken. These reports speak of odd and unnatural storms which repel any who try and approach. An increase in agitation of the monsters of the sea which spares only the ships of these new colonists, and most concerningly of all, entire ships disappearing, all their plunder, crew, and passengers vanishing into the cold and dark of the sea. One of the smaller vessels of this new venture was recently returned, and the men aboard interrogated, with only the slightest information being gleaned. The prisoner told tales of horrific human sacrifices of foul and profane magics, rituals to create horrific man-beasts with unnatural powers. This is only the beginning. This cult, which we now know as Lamentaire, are more than just normal pirates. They are a cult of unimaginable horror, and already advisors clamor for us to stomp out this latest piratical menace. And here is the event, the founding of Troll's Haunt, which is another one of the pirate nations. Another one is down here. And we are going to be playing as Lamentaire. Play as the new country. Hurrah! And we get actually a unique name, which is kind of cool. Okay, do that. And go to guilds, and here we will do chronicler grants, and we will summon them and then seize the land. You can do that. Alright. I also went ahead and took the liberty of going ahead and developing the province up as much as I could, because why not? So, what we are now going to do is take our ships, give them our captain, and we are going to privateer in the Ruined Sea. And here we can come and get I need to do this. And do that. And hunger. And here we can do yeah, we'll do the privateer's way. And then formalize the right. We're gonna go with that one. And go ahead and go with Black Powder Innovation. Pirate King. Black Market Consortium. Do that. I'll do this too. And we are going to go ahead and force a re-election. Okay. All right. 250 ducats. We need a whole bunch of ships. No, we don't have, what's it called? That. Just culture. Just diplomats. Relations. Improve relations here. And down here. Go ahead and upgrade our units. Alright. I have to take one out. Yep. Or not. Okay, we can't raid that. Can raid that though. Raid that. And here. And here. Let me actually set... No, I can't set that to friendly yet. Go ahead and rival the Veneo Islands. Can't raid that. Nothing to raid there. Sorry if you heard a phone ringing. That was... thing. Alright, plug from trade here, and we will go ahead and transfer trade there. Yeah. Four pairs. Right. Privateer in the Ruined Sea. Privateer in the Ruined Sea, because we need more money. Actually, our army can get its forces mothballed. That. Okay, those haven't actually been raided yet. Yeah, good amount of money. And then these guys can go privateer in the Ruined Sea as well. that. Hey, we can buddies. Let's be friendly, guys. There's enough booty in the ocean for us all. I don't want to raid that. No, maybe I can raid this. That doesn't make them upset. Good. Yeah. And Fort Pale Gold. Trying to set up a pirate confederacy. I can go ahead and take that off and send an insult, vicious mockery. Will not. Okay, yeah, I can go ahead and ally them. Privateer. Privateer. And then we can come over here and raid that coast. For 17 ducats. Alright. Alright. When we pirates were wee lads who sat on our papa's knees, he told us each that everyone has special gifts, and that these gifts are what make the world go round. Some people can smith great works of metal, and some are good at making the numbers add up. Some people make fancy works of art which sell for lots of money. Some are nobles who have special gifts for sitting around all day. He said that once we find our gifts, we'll be able to do something to the world, add something to the world ourselves. Of course, we had one. We just had to find out what it was, and now that we're grown, we've certainly found our specialty. Across many years of searching, what we do best is stealing. The world is a great feast, and if none of it belongs to us, we'll take our share anyways. The colonists and companies of the ruined sea certainly don't have anyone whose special gift is securing their valuables. Gather the mateys, stock the ships with rum. A great adventure is about to begin. We'll hoist the black flag and we'll paint the world gold. All right. Okay, generous quest rewards. Sponsor rogues. The tavern in Lamentaire was loud, which was very fortunate indeed, as Captain Brannick did not believe in speaking quietly. His burly hand slammed a dagger onto a map of the ruined sea, tainted with the droplets of rum that spilled from his beard. 8 landlubbers want us hanged, shot, or politely dissected. That's something I can get behind, he said, taking another golden crown from the small chest below his feet, tossing it to the bartender and turning towards Captain Kara, sitting just across the table. We're starting to gain a name for ourselves, don't we, love? Kara swirled her rum, leaned back, and boots on the table and smirked. 8 flags angry, coffers heavy, but you seem to not be satisfied, Brannick. Why do those bushy brows of yours permanently frown, even in the face of success? Aye, it's success, he admitted, but it's a small success. We raid, we run, we patch the hull with whatever remains after a cannonade, and then we go off on our merry way. Some treasure in our pockets, some treasure buried in the sand, waiting for better days. We're a nuisance. Kara raised her brow. A profitable nuisance, to which Brannick quickly responded, but only a nuisance. That is, unless Tristan of the Shallows moves his arse and proposes something bigger. Something a tad bit bigger. The woman smirked again, rolling one of the freshly stolen coins in her knuckles. So you suggest we stop being small, we reinvest like some proper landowners. My, it didn't take you for a responsible man, Brannick. Brannick, visibly pleased with himself, opened his mouth and showed a hole-ridden toothing. I've learned over the years, Lassie, he swung his tankard and drowned what was left of it in one pull. To expansion. Carlo followed in suit, exclaiming, and to pissing off at least 4 more before the year's out. Yet this shout was lost in the sound of saw coming from outside, for the docks were already being filled with salvaged timber and captured cannons. Alright, so we get extra shipbuilding cost and time. We need army equal to 15,000. And they can go privateer in the Ruined Sea. It's amazing to see what places you can go if you act like you belong there. We once heard of a pirate crew who sailed out of the Trolls Bay who sailed off on an entire DTC ship by sneaking into their port and dressing like merchants. The ship was full of cabbages, but that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is that you can get anywhere if you want with a winsome smile and a bit of panache. Our teeth are too rotted to smile much anymore, but if panache was gold, we'd all be retired by now. But of course, we aren't the only ones who know the value of a bit of guts, a bit of perseverance, and the swagger that comes from your lucky piece of 8. In Canor, there are people like us who just need a passage over and a crew berth to make something of themselves and make us rich. That's a bargain if we've ever heard one. We can provide them with the passage and the berth, and all they'll have to provide is the courage to step on it and the sense to act like they belong. Alright, so get that. Take that. Come here. Pioneer initiatives. Do we have... I don't know what you need to get the magical exploration. So we are gonna go colonize that. Recall. Hey, Rasail. No, they still don't like us. Okay, and then we can go get rid of our adventurers. Don't really need them. Yeah, we'll go ahead and encourage work slavery to the depths. And here, what is it, naval force limit? Okay. 10 heavies, so we need to save enough room for 10 heavies at least. We can go ahead and get 3 heavies. No, we want to do the heavies last, because those don't really do much for us. Let's do 5. Or not do 5. We don't have the naval capacity. God damn, it's hard to click on my province. Okay, so we'll do 1, and then 2, and then 1, 2, 3. And then we won't build a flagship yet. And then we'll do 2 more cogs. Additionally, we will want to go ahead and build up a barracks. Alright. No, not protect trade. Privateer in the ruined sea. Okay, that is heavy, so that gets added. We have espionage ideas. Army greater than 15,000. That. These guys can get mothballed for some extra cash. Done pretty well. Else. We are the smugglers. Yes. Port pale gold. What's our prestige like? Okay, so if I potentially give them a gift. Alright. We have somewhat of a reputation, but there are many good things about us pirates. We're very good at tying knots. When we sing out of tune, the rest of the crew drowns us out. We bathe, sometimes even as much as once a month if we want to be all fancy about it. But for all those things, the best thing about pirates is that we're direct. We'll always tell you what we think. And at gatherings of the pirate fleets, we don't have to act like greasy princelings going off to some boarding school. It's all very easy to make friends with another pirate, you see. All you need is a story to swap, or else a couple pieces of gold. Pirate chums are the best types of chums, and once you make one, you've made a friend for life. And of course, it's also very easy to make a pirate enemy. Just stand on his table at the tavern, call him a right rotten blighter, kick over his tankard, and run off. Alright. So that we can go here. Head and raid that. No one is protecting trade or hunting pirates in the Trolls Bay. Which means we are about to get very wealthy. One of the best places to raid in the game. Alright, so we want to go ahead and throw a castle down there as well. I did spam a bunch of development in our capital earlier, which was a little bit cheesy, but it's fine. I'll do tech cost. Okay. There we are. This guy needs to go privateer in the ruined sea. And then we need to take these guys. Actually, no, we don't want to bring the galleys, because tend to get roughed up pretty easy. we'll do this, which will give us gun knights as well as large cannons. 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've raided everything but this. Alright, that is great. Turn the army maintenance up for a moment. Get a general. Yeah. We pirates tend to be peaceful folk when there is nothing to steal, given that there's not much sense in risking your neck otherwise. But on occasion, a disagreement with another band of pirates clouds your judgment, and you strap on your cutlass even when there's nothing to be stolen. There are codes for these times, and you've got to be sure to follow the rules. First, you've got to parley. Sit down with the other captain on neutral ground and attempt to hash out your differences. Be civilized like about it, since there's no sense in spilling blood that doesn't need to be. Keep the cutlass close anyways. If that fails, hopefully you've been preparing your crew, or at least your cannons. You aren't supposed to during parley, of course, but everyone does. Some rules are unwritten. Alright, so that now allows us to dominate the fleets, which I assume is... Okay. 150 opinion, 75 trust, 30 development. We should be able to do that here. And here. How much trust is that? $75 trust. Okay, we can't do that. Not right now. What we can do, though, is... Oh, nope. Influence. Curry favors, and curry favors. Somehow they're allied with Port Pale Gold. Fascinating. Sure. That was very expensive. Okay, that's nonsense. One, two, three, 4, 5. Yep, can raid that. Down here. No, can't. Can't go over there either, that's fine. Okay, Age of Unraveling. Excellent. So now... yeah, we will need to seize some land. It's all been raided. They come right over there. That's true. Unfortunate. Fetch the shovels. cost to hire one? $8 ducats. Protect our loot. Once you've been as far around the sea as we have, you begin to collect something of a nest egg. Every pirate does something different with it. Some are saving up for a little house of their own, and some drink each nest egg away the moment they step ashore. Some just like to look at it. But one thing that every pirate needs is a way to keep that loot safe. You could bury it, but we've seen how that story ends far too many times. No, what each pirate needs is a way to stash that hard, stolen plunder somewhere, safer than the bottom of the ruined sea, and also easier to get to. It might make sense to build ourselves a little fort where we store our gold. We'll ask the lads to chip in for a big stone castle, and we'll put up big spiky sticks on the places ashore where some people like us might try and land and steal it. It might be fun trying to protect something for a change. And once we have, new crewmates will flock to us like flies. Alright, so we get a nice big den of piracy. Okay, I get 24 ducats for that. Count down here. 7. 26. 9. Alright, come right there. I can do that. That's a good admiral. Those in the... I think those are in the ruined sea. How much do we... Really not all that much. That kind of sucks. Alright, we can go ahead and fire them. I think as reports the obvious. Should be the obvious target. Your slaves. Alright, so we need to go up and make sure our army gets going. Alright. What the? Oh. That's something. Look ahead. Culture-wise, they have eaten most of the desert elves. Zaka's dead, though. That's good. Alright. So I get claims mostly on the Vanali Islands. Get claims on any of this. No. To get claims, Liad. Peoria. Or Pale Gold is the one who's actually, yeah, they are. Fire War. All them in. Yeah, we can go that way. And then we can get the Storm Maidens. On every ship there is one. She stands barefoot on the deck, her hair cut with the same knife that cuts the ropes, and she speaks to the captain of debts owed and debts paid. She goes where she pleases, yet she never strays far from the rail. She is never fully dry. No one recalls when she first came aboard. She is as much a part of the ship as mast or keel. Would you remark upon a sail? You would only remark upon its absence. She passes from ship to ship, but no man has seen her depart. We know she is gone only because another stands where she stood. Of course we do not see her leaving. Could you imagine her on land? The thought is stranger than an honest wage. The captains did not truly see her before. They were grateful for her presence and afraid of her absence, and that was enough. But now we have seen her, and so we must ask, what would happen if they were together? That. Where'd my ships go? There they are. I mean, we can go ahead and bombard that. Sack. I mean, sure. Alright, next. I want to go right there. Oh, they didn't actually get off. Take that. Naval? Essentially, I guess. Too many cowards. What do I need for this? 100. Alright. And the other army can go here. Okay. So what I want is probably going to be all of these islands. Are they... Oh no, they conquered that. I also kind of want those as well. Bless the morning cuttlefish. Spectral whale. Sure. Honestly, have these guys privateer the ruined sea when they're fixed up. And then we come... where do we want to go? Right here. Another treasure map. Alright. Where do we have treasure? Treasure right there. We can occupy that province. Probably makes sense. Alright. I thought I had destroyed their fleet. Go and try and siege that province down. Alright, I guess I don't have enough land forces to do this. Nothing good. Great favors there. Hey, Valor Point. Thank you, buddy. Uncovered treasure. 200 crowns, 150 crowns. 100 crowns. It's pretty good. Okay, and then can run here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I want 14 and then 16. Get rid of those to save a little bit of cash. Okay, and that is the last infantry. We can take these guys, right. Let's take them right there so we can siege that province down. Okay, so we need 75 favors. 75. I assume we need to be at peace. 25 trust, yes. And here. There we are. And we just want to get there as quickly as possible. We want to go try and loot the gold. Go here now. Alright, I can't land on Alien then. Siege ability, and then we can come here and do that. Come this way. Good. Great. I'll grab that province. Okay, and what I want from this war is going to be like these islands. Honestly, like all of these, but in terms of raid, yeah, we can do a raid. And those expire in years. Raid. Refill. Coffers. Nope. Take that. Take that. Raided that. Raided that. Everything that can be raided pretty much has been. A 20% chance to capture enemy ships. What do we need? Is a captain? Ooh, that's a possibility. Alright, that still doesn't do it. Does that do it? Yes. What about this? If I go fight there, wipe that army out and siege that province down, and then wipe that fleet out. Okay, that does work. That doesn't give us everything we want, but it's most of it. And then we want to do conversions. Alright. Alright, this is gonna be rough for a little bit. Do that. Treasure map. Okay, so what we want, take these guys, have them privateer in the Ruined Sea, give them our ruler as an admiral, do that, continue coring, the other ships can come this way. Plunder the Trolls Bay for all of it's worth. I do need a advisor. First Unity of Faith. Yeah, fund theological studies. Okay, we can dominate that fleet. Which fleet was that? Oh, Meeks. Yeah, that makes sense. And then here we want to trade favors for trust at 75, and then we want to take that off. Now we want to improve with our allies. here and group relations, Naval and Williams. No, I don't need to do that. These can actually get mothballed. And we don't need to raid. Can't raid that. Can't raid that. Can raid that though. That. Alright. Can't raid down here. I don't think I can raid down there either. And then we want to recruit an Inquisitor. Because we really need to convert. Yeah, sure, whatever. And these guys can get mothballed for a bit. More cores is wonderful. Yeah, sure. I'll join you. What's Queteal? Oh damn, they migrated way north. The deep one. Okay, so that's 12. Still 12. It's fine. Naval. Sure. And that as well. Those guys probably don't need to be on that. I'll go privateer in the Trolls Bay then. That does make more money. Oh, I know what I can do. Take these, and come right there, right that, right that, right that, here, here, and here. And come this way. Privateer efficiency is great. Actually, I'm going to do open naval service. And then we want to colonize that. And with that, we'll actually colonize a decent amount. We are going to need to focus there for a little bit. Yeah, that's not happening. Okay. Would actually want to do that. And then praise be to Ulios. Expansion of zealotry. Now let's do enforced unity of faith. Why not? Okay, and then for dominate the fleets, they need to be 150 opinion, 75 trust. Okay, so we can dominate Trolls Haunt. Fourth religious unity down there. Okay. Yes. Go ahead and land there. Okay, we're looking good. I should probably study magic of some sort. Study illusion. Yeah, privateer efficiency. Great. Yeah, do that. Another treasure map. Alright, we can go get that one. That shouldn't be too much trouble. Port Pale Gold. Who do you hate? Tended Insult. Vicious Insults. Dominate that fleet. Oh. Yep. They're my vassal now. It's kind of cute. Religious unity down on those two. Conversion's going pretty well. So where are we converting right now? Here. Alright. As report is allied to the Thames Crown. Okay, they need to come right this way. $31. Can't raid those. 31. It's not worth raiding that. Alright, good, that's out of the way. And next we can do Commissionary. Not do any religious actions, sociability, trade, tax, whatever. Alright, where's my fleet? Over here. Get the boys together. can declare war as report, Wanderer's Bay. Okay, Wanderer's Bay. Head here. Uncovered treasure. 100 ducats. I'll take that. Ancient tome. Do the admin. Alright. Don't really want all that much. Well, I will actually go invade the CLST. Yeah, heavy ship combat ability is great. Okay, so here I want to pillage the capital, take that. And we just do that. Alright, we can come here. Alright, conversions are going pretty well. Storm Maidens. Yeah, I like that. We want that province. Okay, and we can send them back here. Okay, go ahead and enforce religious unity down there as well. Excellent. That gets them off. These can go privateer. Trolls Bay. And they can be mothballed for a little bit. What am I converting right now? Or pale gold. Yeah, do that. Probably best if we go ahead and full core everything up. Eradicate the problem, fetch the shovels. true exemplar of the community. That should allow us to raid up there in the north. Actually, go to administrative divisions. Alright. Building a nice little pirate kingdom. Still have a truce. Can raid all of those lovely provinces. Probably just hit that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can come over here. Can't raid that because we have truce. Alright, illusion is good. Fear and loathing. These guys need an admiral, privateer in the Trolls Bay. Right, what else can I do? Region. Is this the North Ruined Isles? I don't know. Here, right there, right there. Hey, that's a good amount of money. Alrighty. Yeah, sit there and repair for a little while. These have... I don't have it on. Okay. Need more manpower. Still allies with them. Can't do that. Alright, those conversions are looking great. Alright, what can I do? that's everything. There. Expansionist zealotry. Okay. Praise be to Ulios. Across the sea in Canor, there are others, we hear, who worship Ulios. They worship Ulios, the fisher's friend, the Ulios of children's tales, who sees a sailor's ships dashed against the rocks and intervenes to bring them safely back shore. Bring them safely back to shore. How weak, how land-lagged. This Ulios knows nothing of the sea. The Ulios we worship is different. We worship the Ulios of awful, tempest-strewn nights, who is as capricious as he is cruel. Why do we worship him? Because if we did not, he would be there anyways, and we know we are the only ones who have the skill, the brains, the raw daring do to sail to his seas. We know that if others try to brave the wrath of Ulios on their fat merchant ships, they will be dashed on his rocks, and they will die in his grasping arms. Then the cargo they carried will be awfully, tragically without an owner. We will take it for our own, so that we may give back to Ulios. There is an order to the sea. Okay. Who is the strongest trade power in the ruined sea? Beneo. Alright. Build a spy network there. I mean, we have a lot of trade ships. Alright. Man, it feels good to raid. Okay, that. There's not much to raid here, but it's better than nothing. We should also probably build a bigger land army. That would make a lot of sense. And then we gotta come here. Raid. So much plunder. Is there any other Ulios nations? No. Alright. So we should go right here. Green money. Then we want to go up to probably 6 cannons. Comment with his 27s. We'll build 4 cav. Like that. And let's go with Cretus. Oh, Zoc exploded. Yep, that makes sense. And as far as ships, I would actually like... Where's my heavies? That's enough heavies. The rest can be... some lights. Okay. That is almost everyone. Ooh, kobolds are doing good. Hey, they survived. Beautiful. Okay, so the Vanille Islands. Declare for that, and we're gonna call in a raw sail. I'd actually get rid of 2 of these cannons because it's a little bit expensive to run these. So I can duck it, I can free up for other stuff. Alright, we managed to win a battle. Good. And we do not have... Alright, what I want... They're gonna occupy those... No, let's support Pale Gold. It's fine. Yeah, what I want though is gonna be those provinces. And then these. And those 2. And then that. And honestly, like, that. Potentially even that. History war. Surely they can't have... Oh god, they do have manpower left. Tech trade. Privateer. I'll have them go privateer in the Trolls Bay. How much are we actually pulling out? Jesus Christ. That works. And this guy can actually just, like, come over this way. That's a good colony. Anywhere worth colonizing? Not right there. Could be good. Would let me plunder the coasts over there eventually. War and March of Victory. I think they've gotten a little bit better about purging the Grey Orcs, which is cool. Don't need to do the Lament of Ilios right now. Right. Yep. In terms of cultures, we could accept some. Privateer in the Trolls Bay. No, don't care. Much war score? 9? Even does Venale itself have 39,000? Yeah, I can't fight that. That's good though. Only one more left. Should do that. Do a toned down peace deal. So basically that. And that come off. Another treasure map. Alright. We could go grab that for some cash. These guys can get moved down that way. Free cash is wonderful. Playing a diplomat, a trader, diplomatic advisor. How much is this guy gonna cost? 80 ducats. Alright. Every pirate knows something about knots. We teach them to the cabin boys as soon as they can swap the deck without dropping the mop. We can tie them blindfolded. We can tie them single-handed, as many a hook-handed pirate can prove. And the reason for that is simple. There's an easy rhythm to knots. Rope over rope, pull and tuck. And your fingers remember what your mind no longer needs to think about. Eventually, the pattern lives in your bones. A lot of things are that way. Perhaps commerce could be too. Cargo and cargo out. Coin changing hands. Ships arriving full and leaving fuller. Learn the pattern, keep the rhythm, and the work begins to tie itself. If we learn the ropes, perhaps we'll be able to reap the rewards as we sit about and gamble. Daniel Seagold, captain of the Black Reavers of Lamentaire, stood on the deck of his flagship with spyglass in hand. It had been another successful voyage. His scurvy band had sailed across the sea. They captured several prize ships sailing out of the Trolls Bay, running them down like dogs catching gulls. Now all they had to do was sell the goods in a place worth selling them, and they could get to dividing up the plunder. As it happened, that was precisely where they were headed. A speck appeared on the horizon, then it became a smear, then slowly it became a home. And what a home it had grown into. The smell of wood smoke and saltfish reached them before the island did. New towns dotted the bay, their fishing boats already out on the morning water. The hammering of construction rang across the harbor, and merchant banners Seagull didn't recognize snapped in the breeze above the docks. He lowered the spyglass and allowed himself a smile. At long last, the ship managed to find a place to moor itself on the bustling docks. "Unload the cargo, men," cried Seagold. "We're home at last." A ragged cheer rose up from the weary sailors. Seagold kicked down the gangplank, prepared to step ashore, and found his way blocked by a man wearing an official-looking sash, clutching a clipboard with what looked like religious reverence. He had a stern expression. "Stop right there, Captain," the man began. "Lamentaire is a land of order, law, and justice. We can't have any smuggled goods sold on these fair shores. Please present your ship manifest immediately with justification for your cargo listed." The two men looked at each other for a long moment, then they began to snicker. They collapsed to the dock laughing, tears running down their faces. When Seagold finally got up, he clapped the man on the shoulder and decided his quartermaster could handle the unloading, and went to find a tavern. There were many, many taverns in Lamentiere, and he needed a drink and a chance to gamble some of his newly earned money away. Alright. Of all the commandments of the sea that all the captains of Lamentiere follow as scripture, the most important is this: what is given to Ulios shall remain with Ulios forever. Of course, this might make our current course of action seem as folly. The sea has its hidden places, hollows no chart has ever marked, depths that swallow light and sound alike. Among them stands a temple beneath the waves, stone older than our grandfathers' grandfathers, with pillars crusted in salt and bone. No minstrels sing of it, no dockside fool sculls it into a cheap ballad. It is not for landsman's tongue. Ulios has given this place to his faithful, and yet we do not wish to be ungrateful servants. We will not take it from Ulios, we will offer him a trade. We are pockmarked, salt-cracked, and rum-soaked. We are the rejects and cast-offs of every shore, and yet we are his. From our sun-bleached hair to our sodden boots, let us hope this is enough. The captain stood on the deck in the black of night. He knew the words, of course. All he had to do was say them. Ulios the destroyer, Ulios the hunger of waves, Ulios the darkest deep. We supplicants have come to exalt you. We cannot give ourselves to you, for we are already yours. We ask for your blessing and we ask for your mercy. We ask for your temple. It was done. The captain returned to his helm and began to trace the path he was born to sail. The winds whispered like teeth on bone, but it carried another sound. The storm maidens had picked up his chant. They echoed in rounds and made the captain's prayer into a song older than the waves. The breath smelled of seaweed. The path turned in on itself in an impossible geometry. The helm alone could not trace it, but the helm was guided by something that lived deeper than the ship that night. The singing echoed in rounds. The air began to fill with fog as the sea began to leave. The captain did not know where it left, and yet it did. And in its place rose pillars hewn from salt-encrusted coral and black stone, spiraling and impossible, bending the eye, writhing like they were breathing. The lantern light did not fall upon them. It recoiled. The surface of the waves ripped with unnatural reflection. The temple yet rose, and the captain docked at a stair that was never meant to stand above the waves. The earth was shaking, but the captain had found his purpose and not even the world's end would deter him from it. He began to climb, and the air grew wetter as he withdrew further from the waves. The songs of the storm maidens followed him. It was deafening. The captain could hear nothing but song and could see nothing but fog, and yet he stepped forward in utter faith. At the top of the temple, a statue loomed. Its gaze was eternal and maddening. It saw all of the captain. If it was capable of joy, it would have appeared pleased. The captain did not recoil. Here was Ulios. We have found the end of our path. Alright, so with that, I thought it was supposed to be a center of reformation. I guess not. It's fine though. Okay, so send 3 here, there, here, and here. Give these guys a month or 2 to recover, or we send them to go hunt our enemies. We'll go ahead and pop Golden Age. It is the Golden Age of piracy, after all. Okay, I need to find their friggin' fleet. Oh, there's where it is. These guys can also go privateer in Patrol's Bay. Alright, that is the last province we need converted. genuinely might be a good idea to build Marines just to diversify where our manpower is coming from. Go ahead and move these guys right that way. Yeah, we do want next tech. These guys can go privateer. Rolls Bay. Alright. That's good. We do have the maximum war score. So I want all of those. What if I have claims? I do have a claim on that province. About, nope, not there. I could get that. I don't think I still have... Oh, we do have that. Okay. Alright. Do that, and then we can pour all of that up. And they can get moved here. Okay, what rebel? Oh, fuck. Shit. Those rebels. That's fine, I can deal with that. It's fine, it's fine. That all of the Venalia Islands? I guess so. Alright, come here. Avenging Kraken. Spare no expense. Alright. And we do have enough money to dominate them. Yes, we do. Improve relations. Relations have already been improved. Are you rival to anyone? No. Okay. I can do that. Get rid of devastation. Okay, that's good. Yep, do that. Fetch the shovels. Alright. Okay, these guys. Rate that. Rate that. Got that. Got all those. I assume they're probably... Yeah, they're still hunting pirates there. Okay. Well, I guess I can come here. God, these provinces suck! I really need to get something with stealing over here. Those for like gold provinces, these are like terrible. And we'll do that, and then study magic, illusion, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's as far as they can go. Services will be useful, got that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I raid here? Got that. 53. 50. Can I raid? I absolutely can. 26. 48. 30. Alright. That's a big old pile of gold. Okay. Economy actions. Transfer me your trade power. I will send gift, do that, and then we can dominate their fleet. Excellent. Write that down right there. I think I'm gonna wait a month. I'm going to take this, and then I am going to end this episode right here. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode of Lamentaire, and have a good day.